Hello everyone, I'm Rachel Tessman from stampyourartout.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Andover, Minnesota in the US, and I am here to bring you our weekly live paper crafting class. I'm glad that you could join me. Thank you to all of you who continue to come back to watch my live streams each week, and thank you for anybody who's coming that's new. I appreciate all of you, and a big thank you to our channel supporters and super fans. Yay! All right, in this video, we are going to share how to create a stunning artistic card that has like inky little things added to it, layers, texture, all kinds of fun stuff. I want to tell you, if you are a beginning crafter, let's say you're new to this channel, you're watching this live stream for the first time, I try to walk things through to keep them simple. So even though this is a very artsy card, I think you can take a lot of these tips that I'm going to share with you and walk away and apply them to your own creative projects. We're going to be using the Happy Hibiscus Bundle, which actually includes not only stamps and dies, but an embossing folder. I'm going to show you how all that works. It's new. It just got released into the online store in early November. So we are excited for all those new products. Yay. There is a sale going on, so I do want to make you aware of that. So if you're seeing any products as we're working through and doing this online class today, and you say, oh my gosh, I have to have that, check in the supply list below in the description of the video. And if you're on Facebook, that description will move over after I'm done with the live. But check out those things in the online store, but also be aware that we're having what's called a seasonal sale. It just started today. It's going to go for 3 days. 3 days? 4 days? 3 days. So the 13th, 14th, and 15th of November. And when you get into the online store, make sure that you're checking on the specials so that you can see the seasonal sale. Okay, so on that note, what am I going to use besides the bundle? I'm going to use the Bough Punch because it's the best punch ever. Blending brushes, Wink of Stella, glimmer papers, inks and cardstocks, and all kinds of fun stuff. So, all right. Oh, thank you so much, Trisha, for that little note that you put in there. Please like, subscribe, share the video, all that kind of fun stuff, and comment, because your comments get you entered into a prize drawing. Every Wednesday class, we do a prize drawing at the end to the live, putting the live viewers' comments in, and we pick winners. Then, after that live stream is over, you have another week to comment away on the after live so that you get a second chance into a prize drawing, which occurs right before the next video. So we're drawing for prizes from last week's video, and we're drawing from this week's live. So please say hello, chime in, talk, have fun with each other. This is what it's all about with lives, right? And thank you for the comments on my hair. I'm wearing the Breeze Uniwigs topper. I know a lot of you that come back to my channel know that I wear extra hair. They're called toppers on my head because I'm losing my hair. But this one, I decided not to curl it. I just washed it and then like crimp the ends and let it dry. And I'm loving the look. It's fun. It's just a different look, right? So you can change it up. Okay, moderators, I want to introduce you to Trisha Josephs, who is on YouTube. Her name stands out with a little wrench symbol next to her name, and she is here to answer questions for you because I can't go back to the afterlive comments and actually respond to those. I'm sorry, not the afterlive comments, the live comments. So if you're commenting on YouTube during the live, and I don't catch your question, hopefully Trisha will. Otherwise, reach out to me. I do have an email address that you can do that. Let's see here. There it is. So if you do have questions that are pressing and Trisha didn't get to them or whatever, but she's usually very good, then you can reach out to me at my email address. And then we have Lisa Marshall on Facebook. So we're live streaming to both platforms right now. And again, like, subscribe, all those good things. Let's get started. I'm going to show you the supply list, measurement list, or the supply list, the measurements, photos. You're going to take a quick peek here and we're going to see what we're going to be sharing. So this is the PDF that you're able to print off when my blog post that's connected to this live video will go live in a little over an hour. You can click on that link and then you can access this PDF. So feel free to take a screenshot if you wish right now, but this is going to be something that you can access and either keep on your computer or print off. It does include the measurements of all the supplies that you would need. It includes the list of supplies of what you would need and photos of the card. That's what we're going to be making. It's stunning, isn't it? And then we also have the date and the title. So you can reference that and hopefully find the video again, either on my YouTube channel, Facebook, or my blog. All right, let's go down to the desktop. Here is the card, you guys. Isn't it beautiful? I'm going to zoom in a bit here. So I was inspired. Maheshwari from my stamp garden. She is an artisan designer. So she's one of the Stampin' Up demonstrators who was chosen to represent the products in artsy ways. And she is out there on, again, my stamp garden. I think it is mystampgarden.com, but she does such stunning cards. A lot of times you see these stunning cards in whites, right? Lots of white backgrounds and light and airy and stuff. A lot of her cards have these intense colors in them, and I am just so drawn to them. So she had a post, and I want to say it was just a few days ago. I want to say it was like I don't know. It was about a week ago or within the week. I do have a link to it in my blog post. So again, you'll want to circle back and click on that blog post later on today in about a little over an hour. And anyways, then you can see the cards that she designed. But I took those cards and I was inspired by them. I drew on the colors. I drew on kind of the layout look and stuff. And I just said, I have to make a Maheshwari card because it's just stunning. So take a peek at that. Isn't it gorgeous? All right, so we're gonna do that. What else do I wanna tell you before we get started? I think that's it. I'm gonna show you the bundle. So this is the bundle. This is the Happy Hibiscus Bundle, and it includes a photopolymer stamp set. So you have your totally clear stamps. You can see through them. You can place the images where you want them, which is great for the two-step stamping types of stamps where you do your outline image and then you stamp within. So awesome to be able to see within, right? And then we have the embossing folder. I'm going to show you that in a minute, actually. I'm going to show you the dies next. So the dies, which I store, by the way, in Stampin' Storages, little envelopes and on their magnet sheets. I love their stuff. Anything that I mentioned that isn't Stampin' Up product, click on my website and go to my favorite, or go to shop first and then go to my favorite extras, and you'll be able to see things that I'm sharing with you, like the magnet sheets and the envelopes and stuff. So you can see we have some outline type dies or frame dies that cut out the images. And here we have the leaves, the flowers. We also have some label type dies, and we have some more detail type dies that have like cuts through them. Sometimes they give an impression of embossing. So we have the leaves and we have these flowers here. We're going to be using this die, which is actually a combination of 3, the leaves, and that's it. So those are the dies out of the 11 that we're going to use. And then for the stamps, we're going to be using a couple of the leaves, the congratulations. We could use this texture one. I contemplated and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many steps already. And then this is the embossing folder, and I've already got a piece of cardstock sitting in here exactly where I want it. So I just laid my cardstock within, but you can actually see with the cardstock in there a little bit better what it's going to do. It's going to create this embossed or raised image. So we're going to go ahead and grab our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'm going to zoom out a bit so that we can see better. And we're going to do some embossing. So I'm going to take the Happy Hibiscus with the cardstock inside, lay it on my base plate number 1, put the gray plate number 4 on top, and then we're going to guide it in, rolling it so that it's putting pressure. There's 2 rollers within that put pressure on this and allow you to put that fun detail into cardstock. Isn't that amazing? We're going to do that again, but this time when we take our cardstock, we're going to take and add a die, because this is what's called a hybrid type of bundle. That means that you can take your dies, you can lay them, and I think it goes right here, you can lay them into your embossing folder. You see how that fits in there? I've got the blade side up, and I'm going to put my paper across that area right there. So now, Wednesday mornings are the best. You're so cute, Mary. Thank you. Now we're going to lay it on platform number 1, and put the embossing gray plate thing here, number 4, and we're gonna crank it through. So this gray plate is to be used with the 3D or the thicker type of embossing folders, the ones that emboss deeper. We do have regular embossing folders too. And this is the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. It comes with all the plates. It even comes with the gray plate. It comes with a couple clear cutting type plates and some a die adapter, all of that. Okay, so watch. So fun. So now we have cut out and embossed flowers. Aren't they cool? I'm going to zoom in so you can see them better. So amazing. Just amazing. It's like, I don't know. You have to have this machine if you can invest in it. It's so worth it. Okay, I'm going to set this aside now. And we're going to bring in the other supplies. I'm going to show you what else you need because I did show you the supply list, but I didn't talk through all the pieces. So we need, and I'm going to start from the bottom up. So if you took a screenshot of it, you can refer to it. But we need about 18 inches of linen thread. Then we also need some old olive glimmer paper, and that comes from, I'm going to shove this over here for a minute. That comes from a pack of glimmer paper where you get the old olive, which actually kind of looks like granny apple green too. We got the white, which is very iridescent-y because you can see lots of flecks of color when you tip it and shine it in different ways. And then we have the berry burst. And then we're also going to use a scrap of this paper, and this is the Pretty Peacock glimmer paper, and that comes in a variety pack that looks like this. So you actually get 2 sheets of everything. You get the, oh shoot, now I'm not remembering. I want to say peach pie. No, it's petal pink, Pretty Peacock, and Highland Heather. Although this can be kind of gorgeous grapish too. So we're going to need scraps of that. We're going to need a strip of it that's 1/4 of an inch wide. You don't want to have it too wide. I did that on my first card, and I found that because this top part doesn't stick to a lot of adhesives very well, that Stampin' Up! Carries, I found that having a smaller piece worked much better. And then we also need this piece here, which I already embossed, so we've got that done. Sorry, I'm kind of going out of order here. Crumb cake. So for crumb cake, we need to have the 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 piece. We need to have the 1/2 inch by 5 1/2, and we need to have a scrap for die cutting the sentiment label. For the old olive, we need a scrap for die cutting leaves, and the pool party I just talked about. Plus, we need this. Oh, and we already did that. The scrap for die cutting the flowers. Okay. So there's that. And we only need the 2 big ones, although you could throw in the smaller one too. For the basic black, we're going to prepare that piece right now, and then we'll go back to doing some things in that machine. We're going to die cut only next. So let's cut our cardstock. And this is 8 1/2 by 11 basic black. We're going to cut it in half at 5 1/2 inches. You're going to use this top bar of your trimmer, put your cardstocks against it so it's nice and flush, and that allows this to be parallel to the cutting edge. And then we'll slice. And then if we rotate in the other direction, we go halfway at 4 1/4, which is half of 8 1/2. Same thing, flush to the top, make sure this is parallel to your cutting area, and we're going to use the light blade now, and we're going to score. So now we have our card base, we have our inside layer, we have a fun layer here, a fun layer here, a fun layer here. Well, they're going to be fun as soon as we do stuff with them. We have our scraps that we're either going to cut or whatever, or punch. And then we have one more piece of black that we need. So we need to cut this down, and we're going to cut it to 3 1/2 inches in this direction. It's going to be 5 1/2 inches tall, but it's going to be 3 1/2 inches wide. So we're going to the 3 1/2 inch mark, which is right here. You do have centimeters across here too, but if you are in the US, this measurement on the side here is going to be your imperial measurements. So, but it's nice to have the centimeters there, even though we don't have them on the side. Okay, here we have the 3 1/2 inch mark. We're going to use our dark blade, and we're going to slice. Okay, this piece is going to be embossed into the embossing folder, but because I already showed you how to do that. I have one done already. So this one I just set up into the embossing folder. I kind of put it in this position here. And that one's ready to go. So we can put this aside. We're gonna die cut this piece and this piece. And we're gonna punch. Oh, and we're gonna die cut this piece. And we're gonna punch and punch, okay? Then we'll have all our pieces ready to start inking up and getting messy with. You guys ready to get messy? Rachel's getting messy today. This is fun. Yeah, all right. And I'm wearing my really nice outfit too because it coordinates with the project that we're doing. So let's bring our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine back in. So hopefully I won't wipe my hands on anything, right? Okay. Now, instead of embossing, we're gonna put the gray plate away. Now we need our extra thin number 2, which is I call it the die adapter plate. And then we need 2 cutting plates. We need this one here. These are the clear ones. The scratchier one I put down and the not so scratchy one I put on top. And then when the scratchy one gets really scratchy, then I change it and I use this one on the bottom and I put a new one on top. Okay, so this one we're punching. Let's go ahead and do some punching first. Let's bring in the punch. This is the Bough Punch. It is the best punch ever because you can add leaves to everything and anything. You can add leaves to flowers. You can add leaves to books. You can add leaves to cups of coffee, to donuts, to motorcycles. You can put leaves with anything, honestly. Okay. All right. So I've got a piece of my glimmer paper that's about, it's about like an 1.25 inches wide in this area. So that's why I chose this scrap, because if you put it in like this, you're not wasting by punching here, right? A nice thin 1.25 works really well. If I put it in this way and rotate it the other direction, I can get them punched really close together. And again, because I have that gap there, I don't have to worry about wasting much. So there's my scrap of the olive glimmer paper, which again, I think kind of looks like Granny Apple Green, which is a slightly lighter green. This one we're gonna die cut. This one we have to punch out of this next. Okay, so let's take and tear this excess stuff away because we're done with that. And I'm gonna take the punch now and I'm gonna position it in like this, just so I get the top. I only need the top of it. One, and we'll do another one like right here. Okay, so I've got a couple of the tiny bough branches. And then from here, I can do die cutting. Now I already did some die cutting of this piece, so I'm gonna put that off to the side. And I am going to, and I already did this piece, so I'm gonna put that off to the side. But I would be cutting that crumb cake, that light brown piece, with this one here, which gives a nice, cool looking banner like that. And then the other one that I put aside, I would be cutting out leaves with. But because these leaves are glimmery, they're really hard to see the detail on after they're cut. So I'm going to show you with the old olive. Okay, we're going to just go ahead and set these on here. Put these done ones aside. Layer this together. So I hope the weather is good in your area. We are having a cloudy day, but it was much easier to drive my kiddo to school because the sun glares behind us when we turn a certain corner. And then I'm like, okay, Luke, you got to help me. You got to tell me if anybody's behind me because we have to merge into this other lane. It's kind of harsh at this time of year. Now you can see the beautiful detail. Let's zoom in this way so the light stays on it. Gorgeous, right? Now it's not embossed, but it's got the cutting into it, so it looks like it has that embossed look to it, right? Okay, now we'll put all of this aside because we're done with that. And I'm gonna have a sip of my tea, you guys, because I just realized that I'm not showing off my logo merchandise that much. I have these really cool cups, you guys. You gotta check them out. Go to shop on my website. Go to my website, shop my favorite extras, and you're gonna find some, no, not my favorite extras. Go to logo merchandise and you'll be able to see that I have cups there and stuff. And those special cups with the green on them and the butterflies, those are made by Glenn at the Country Cardinal, who happens to be related to Ashley at the Country Hive. So if you guys are fans of the Country Hive, check out Glenn's stuff, okay? All right, now we're moving over to inking. It's time to ink. Let's get messy. Got all our layers ready to go. We're gonna work on our blues first. So the big blue flower, which you probably didn't realize, is going to be on the inside of the card. You might have seen that on the PDF actually. So that's gonna go here. It's gonna go there with, I think I need one more of these. It's gonna go here with a branch. Oops. And my fingernails are getting longer. You'd think I'd be able to lift that up. It's gonna go here. I guess we need one more of each of these. And then on the outside of the card, so on the front of this, we'll have these layers going on. And we're gonna build this flower and a couple of these leaves and a couple of the branches. And then we've got these going on. So all of this stuff is gonna get layered up. Let's ink these. Let's ink these and these. So for this one here, you might have seen that it looks a little shorter, okay? The reason why is because I just trimmed it. So all I did was take my trimmer and lay it in here so that it's covering 1/8 of an inch. And that will bring this piece overall to just under 3/4 of an inch. So you can trust it and just lay it down, or if you feel like it's going to move, take a sticky note, a little sticky note like a 3M Post-it or something, grab onto this and then position it where you want it and hold it down in place and it won't move on you. And now you've got your thinner little label piece, okay? Again, a big welcome to our channel members, our supporters and super fans. I appreciate you. We're going to talk about that later on for those of you that have questions about that. Okay, this gets inked with, real simply, the Tuxedo Black ink, and we're going to be using the stamp that says congratulations. Because it's see-through, again, you can just go right over the top, eyeball it, and place it down within. And I'm looking, because it's very scripty, I'm looking at the actual horizontalness of the word to make sure that that was parallel to the bottom. Okay, that's ready. And then the leaves, we're gonna stamp with green. So let's kind of lay this out on the inside and get some stamping done. So, I'm sorry, not with green, with crumb cake. We're gonna do crumb cake on crumb cake. Because you can stamp flowers and leaves in any color you want. You could have pink leaves and, I don't know, black flowers. Wouldn't that be cool? All right, so then I'm just gonna peek at my finished one over here so I can see it and cheat as I go and just kind of copy. So we're gonna stamp right here. We're gonna stamp another one right about here. So if you take and lay your flower down and then move it as you go, that will help you. And then I've got another little leaf that I want to, oh, and check out the veins on the leaves. You want to make sure that they're going up and out. If you turn them this way, your leaf is going to look like it's upside down. Okay, this goes next to this one. And this one will come right between these two petals here. So I'm going to stamp it like that. All right. All that's done. We have our stamped pieces. Now we have to do some sponging, and not really sponging, but we're going to be using blending brushes. So we have blending brushes that are small and blending brushes that are regular size. I'm going to be using the small with my Pretty Peacock ink. I'm going to be using my larger one with my Pool Party ink. That's just because I like to assign a blending brush per color. You don't have to. You can have blending brushes for all your blues, like another one for all your reds, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I like organization. And this is my old olive one. So I label them using my label maker. Again, favorite extras. I put them in my Tailored Expressions containers, favorite extras. Okay, So let's bring in our inks. We have Pretty Peacock, Old Olive, and Pool Party. Let's move the crumb cake now out of the way. And we'll start with Pool Party. Pool Party is a little bit greener of a blue. So you got a green tone to it. So we're just gonna go like this to get the color onto our blending brush. And then we're gonna go off onto our scrap paper just to see if it's too dark. And this one doesn't seem too dark. So I'm gonna start in the middle because that's where I want the darkest anyways. And I'm going to blend outward and it will intensify the look of the embossing. So you get a slightly deeper shading. We'll do that again. And I'm gonna do more than just the Pool Party color. I'm gonna go in and we're gonna do the peacock also, just to give it an even more intense look. And we're gonna do this on both flowers. I'm going in a circular pattern. You can go in either direction if you go, you know, if you're maybe a clockwise or counterclockwise, it's up to you, whatever you want. But we're gonna go in a circular pattern on both of those flowers just to give it a little Pool Party on Pool Party look. Then this piece right here is going to have some coloring, and I made it nice and wide because I wanted to be able to hold on to it. So only a portion of it shows. So we want to make sure that we're getting that portion to be emphasized a little bit more with our Pool Party ink. And you can see I'm going straight onto the cardstock now. I'm not even doing it off on my scrap paper because this is going to be covered. So I can kind of start inward and then come outward. And you can see how it really brings out the depth of the paper. I'm going to do that a little bit more on the flowers because I don't feel like I got them enough. And you'll start to see my fingers turn colors because I don't have any gloves on and we're just getting inky now. I love using blending brushes versus the daubers because they give you a soft, gradual flow of color adding onto your cardstock layers. If you're using daubers, it's going to be a little bit more intense. It's more like a sponge type of surface on the daubers. But yeah, if you're looking for that, you can use that. Now we're going to move to Pretty Peacock and our Pretty Peacock blending brush. Now this is a darker color, so you're going to have more intensity. So we're definitely going to remove some color here before we land onto our flower. And now we're just going to gradually add that. And oh, so pretty, you guys. Look at that transformation. Isn't that gorgeous? So much different. So again, we'll add some color onto the blending brush, then gradually add it from the middle because that's where I want the most intense color coming out. So stunning. And then on this piece, we'll do the same thing. And we're just going to come in. We can go in from the side here. Yep. Oh yeah, that's a nice dark color. And then gradually come closer to this outside edge. This is going to be our outside edge showing. So we have a little bit of that peacock there. And then we're going to go like this. And keep the paper stiff and just add a little bit of brushing along the edges here to intensify and give it kind of a matted look. Okay. All right. So we've got that done. We're going to put these two colors aside. And now we have our Old Olive. Okay. Now this isn't the only inking we're doing, you guys. We're going to do some inking with Wink of Stella too. Wink of Stella, if you've not played around with it, it's a very simple way to add just a little bit of shimmer. Thank you, Marnie. I appreciate that. Okay, we're gonna go off here just to see how dark it is. Flip it over to the right side, Rachel, and hold it steady because you got really thin stems here. In fact, I'm gonna go on this side because I want the darker part to be down at the base of the leaf and come outward. So I'm really making sure that the base of my leaf has the most color, starting down and moving up. This is where that grip pad would come in handy. I just thought of that, you guys. The grip pads. I have these in my favorite extras too. So you lay that down onto the glass mat and then you put your cardstock on top and it doesn't move. The cardstock, like I wouldn't have to use my fingers here. cardstock would just stay there. Oh my gosh, I should have demonstrated that. There's only so much we can buy though, right? Let me do that again. All right, so here we've got that leaf emphasized, nice and dark on the base. So pretty. And now we're gonna use the bone folder and we're gonna give them a curl. So we're gonna hold it at the base. Hey, I'm not getting too messy yet, am I? What's happening, you guys? So I've got a little bit of lift on my leaf there, and then we'll do the same thing here. Oops. And we'll do that onto, well, these branches kind of curl up naturally because they are glimmer paper, and when you punch them out, they kind of have that, their own little natural curl. But yes, you could curl the little leaves on those. And I think that's it as far as manipulation with the bone folder. Oh yeah, we want to do this one and this one. And I do have to punch. I have to punch one more of each of those colors. Let's grab that scrap again. Bring in the punch. Take away the excess. And go in here and punch one more of these. And we need one more of these. I think what I'm going to do is take my trimmer because I don't want to punch through the whole thing. So we're going to do 1 1/4 inches. There's our piece. By the way, if you are following along and you're thinking, oh my gosh, she's going too fast, know that this is a video. You can go back and watch it later on again and pause it and all of that stuff. Okay, next, let's move these pieces out of the way except for the black. And yeah, I think it was just the black. The black layered layer here, okay? So this one is going to get a little bit of extra sparkle. We're going to use what's called Wink of Stella. It's clear Wink of Stella, but it has a very champagne shimmer look to it. So when you take and you brush it onto something, you can see it's clearish, right? But when you look at it in the light, you can see kind of a very, very light goldish kind of champagne sparkle to it. Now, because there's ink in the barrel of this, we can take and tap it on something hard, whether it's the take your pick tool or your scissors, or even the cap of the Wink of Stella. And if you tap it, and I just want to do a little experimental taps here a couple times. Okay, we're doing very light taps. You can see the colors starting to come out, and you just move around like this, and it starts to add sparkle and shimmer to the surface. Oh, there we can see it. If I tip it this way, I'll do it a little bit more. Isn't that fun, you guys? Oh my gosh, this is so cool. I love it. So now we have just a little bit of like little diamondy shimmers on that. Let's take our base. Let's use our bone folder. Crease this, check to see. Looks like we can see both edges from this side, so that's the back. And then we will add this layer. We're going to add that with, we can add it with our glue. Let's add it with our glue. So we have our multi-purpose liquid glue, which I have in this holder, and I have it into a precision tip bottle, which I have in this holder. We can go straight with this right now because it's a big piece, but I want this edge to be on the outside. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue here and then go around the edges and maybe a little bit in the middle. Flip it over, and we're going to add that about 1/4 inch, maybe a little less, away from the edge, lining up this edge here and the bottom edge. Now, if you can only line up one edge, because you can already see, oops, let me shift it because I'm looking in the reflection here. There we go. If you can only see one edge lined up, that's fine, because you can always take and trim. If you had a little bit of extra hanging out, you can trim to get them both to line up. So there's that. Then we're going to take this piece and we're going to do some distressing. So I'm just going to take the edge of my scissors and I'm going to kind of use my finger here. And you can use your bone folder to do this too, but it gives you kind of a distressed look. You can use the sharp part here too if you want to, and that gives you a little bit more fraying you know, the fibers really kind of pull away. I'm going up from the underside of my paper, and it's kind of an angle. It's not perfectly, can you see that? Oh, hang on, right about there. It's not straight, it's more like an angle. So I'm kind of coming up from the bottom and we're getting that frayed look. I don't have all these pieces coming off on my original one. I did just use this or the bone folder. The bone folder will also give you a smoother kind of distressed look. And then you can take and curl up the corners, trying to make this one similar to the one that we already did. So curl up the corners like that. That's really fun. On the back side of this edge, we're going to add that crumb cake strip. So I'm just going to take and add glue here. And then I'm going to lift this all up. I'm going to lay this down. Oh, and I did distress this one too. Sorry. Okay, so I just came in and did the same thing. We used to have a tool, I forget what it was called, but it did this, where it would take and add these edges like that. If you have a bad cutting blade, it'll add that just by cutting. Okay, this is going to go against here with about 1/8 of an inch of the crumb cake showing. Okay, there's that. And now we're going to add this to the front of our card. When we add this to the front of our card, I do want to do it with glue, but I want to be careful not to put the glue right up close to this edge, because we're going to shove our glimmer paper up and underneath there so that it's easy to add with adhesive on the bottom side of it. If we try to grab it onto here like that and adhere it, it's just going to pull away with our glue or our tape or whatever. And if we put it on here first, then we're not sure if we're getting it in the right spot. So we kind of have to do that one last. And we're going to take and put our glue on the back side again, so that we're avoiding that edge really close to the outside edge there. And we want to get a good amount of glue on here though, because this is a raised surface. It's an embossed surface, so you're going to have lots of nooks and crannies. And if you're using straight adhesive, sometimes you can take and press down. Like if I was to take and put seal adhesive on the back side here, the pressure of me rolling it across there might take some of the embossing and flatten it a little bit, and we don't want to do that. This is going to go right to the edge of your card on this side. And because we're using glue, we can shift and shimmy before it dries. And now we can take and put tear and tape on the back side of this, or we could take and put glue, but I think it's easier with a dry adhesive. And if you have a slightly larger piece than just the 1/4 inch, I told you 1/4 inch, but that's because this is a 1/4 inch in width, but it might be easier to just get a slightly wider than 1/4 inch piece there. So we already have that one set up, and we're going to take and slip that underneath. And to slip it underneath, I'll move these off to the side for a minute. By the way, if you like those holders, they are on sale through the Country Hive, thecountryhive.com. You can see I'm just shifting it and sticking it under here because we left some room for it to go. Yay. And that's how you do that. Next, we're going to take our sentiment piece. No, we're not. We're going to take our flower. No, we're not. We're going to take our sentiment piece. Take our sentiment piece. Layering, you know, it's just a matter of what's going to go first, right? I'm going to put a couple dimensionals on the outside edge of this piece here. So the other half, not this half here, but this half. Because I know that this is going to sit on top and I want to put things underneath it. So I'm going to just arrange that here so that the top and bottom are parallel to the top and bottom of the card. This is right up to the edge of the card. And then this piece is going to go underneath, but we're going to add some things under that as well. So we're going to take and put one dimensional in the middle here. And that should be enough to support this. So this is going to get stuck right about here. And then we're going to tuck things in and around. So for our leaves here, we're going to do our leaves next. No, let's do the branches next. For our branches, we're going to use the precision tip bottle. Did I tell you these are on sale? thecountryhive.com. Buy 3, get 1 free. It's both for the art glitter glue and for the Tombow holder. So, okay, so we're going to turn this over and we're just going to put glue on the bottom 2 leaves and on the stem. Precision tip bottle helps us to do that very accurately. We'll lift up the petal on the flower here and we're going to tuck and we're going to shove it up here like that. And we'll just press down on the bottom leaves because that's all that has the glue on it anyways. And oh, I like to leave the cap on my glue holder while I'm using it. That way the glue stays ready to use and doesn't dry up so quickly. Yes, you totally could. You could put the cap on, but you can also just store it in these things like that. And I also, like Teresa, when she comes over to help me out, she takes this little guy off of the precision tip bottle. I don't mind it there because I have it flipped around so it's not really in my way. But if you want to, you could totally avoid that and just take this off completely and then just put it on wherever. Okay, this piece, same thing. We're going to put it at the end. Thank you for sharing tips, you guys. I love it. I love reading through the comments and seeing what you share with each other. Okay, this one's going to get shoved underneath both of these layers. So we're just going to tuck that up and under here and press it down. And the glue is going to connect with the embossed black layer. And now we're going to take and add the leaves. So we'll add these 2 because they're going to go first. We're going to add glue to the bottom. And we'll shove that under here like that. And I think I have it up, pointed up a bit here, right about there. And then this one, same thing. We're going to put glue just at the base because again, we curled up the leaves a bit on the ends, so we don't want to have glue along the whole thing or flattening it back down. We don't want to flatten it back down. This one's going to get shoved right here. Now they don't really stand out that much. They're going to become shadows. These glimmer paper leaves are going to become shadows. I'm now going to take and add, how did I do this one? I think it was a dimensional. So I'm going to add a dimensional to this one. And I'm going to shove it under this petal and allow the glimmer paper to still show, but not like completely. So there we have that. And on the other one, which is right here, I decided because that was so tiny and I could either choose my small black dimensionals or my small white ones, or you could cut them, but I put a black dimensional under there. Not necessary, but I just didn't want any hint of white to peek through. So that's going to go here. These guys are going to get tucked, again, just a little on the stem and on the 2 base parts of the branch. So that gets stuck here. This one is going to go, oops, precision tip, Rachel. I'm looking at the clock. I'm going, oh my gosh, Rachel, you got to go faster here. This one's going to go right here. And then we have some embellishing to do on the front with some twine and with some really cool, this is one of my favorites. This is the Blooming Pearls embellishments. So obviously I keep buying them because I have extra sheets. Blooming Pearls, because these colors can coordinate with lots of different colors because they have that iridescent-y kind of glow to them. I am using the greenish and the peacock colored ones. So I'm going to take my take your pick tool because it has this gummy end on it. And we're going to grab, let's see here, I'm going to grab this one, this greenish one that's kind of a garden, they call it, I think they call it garden green, but it does look like old olive on here. And then we'll use a small one of those right next to it. Up here, we're going to add a peacock one and a small little peacock pearl here. And then in the middle of this flower, we're going to add the peacock one. Okay, I'm not going to put any of these on the inside of the card, although there is the flower layering on the inside, which I will show you, and I won't demonstrate because we already knew what that looked like. But after this, then we just have twine. And for the twine, what I did is I took about 9 inches and I folded it, and then I took and I pretended it was one strand and I tied my little bow. Okay, and then I had 3 loops over here instead of 2, right? So I took this extra one and I just cut it. So it now looks like it's a regular 2-stranded bow. Took a glue dot, because these go on really well with glue dots. Took my take your pick tool, kind of rolled off a glue dot here, stuck it onto my twine bow, my linen thread bow, sorry, on the top, and then shoved that underneath where it would look cute, right about there. And then because I want this to stick down and not flap, I did insert another dimensional right underneath there and peeled off the backing and stuck it down. On the inside of the card, we have this. So basically you're just going to take that flower, you're going to add it in there, and you're going to shove a couple more branches underneath, because we already demonstrated how to do that. So we're moving on. Cards, you guys. I am doing more than just one live a week now. I'm officially announcing that today. I am going to be doing, well, it might not be a live, but the second one will be either a live or a pre-recorded video. So if you're interested in tuning in a lot more often, then you can, because 2 days from now, we're going to do another, and it's going to be a live this time. It'll be on Facebook and YouTube, and I'm going to be playing with a kit. We're going to be tripling a kit, okay? So I hope you can join back. That is actually scheduled at an odd time, and I say odd because the time for my second video each week is going to not be consistent yet. Maybe it won't be consistent ever, but sometimes it might fall on a Friday, sometimes it might fall on a Saturday. And depending on when my moderators are available, the times might shift. So we're going to do 3 o'clock on Friday, 3 o'clock Central Time on Friday, same place. So I hope that you can tune in for that. That's going to be really fun. And along with that, one of those extra videos per month is going to be for channel subscribers. So my supporters, actually, not my super fans, sorry, but if you're at the supporter level, you're paying the $5.99 per month, you're going to be able to get on that extra live. So I'm going to do one of those per month. But again, if you don't want to support financially, that's totally fine. I don't want everybody to feel pressure, but just know that I'm going to be increasing videos for everybody. So you're all going to be able to tune in a lot more often. It's just that one video per month that you won't be able to. Okay, what else do I want to tell you about that? Before the video today, I did create a little listing, like a little thank you here, of my channel subscribers that are supporters. And I want to right now just take a moment to thank them. So we're going to bring that over here. Let's see. Do we got it? Oh, and then I disappeared. Hang on, I'm still here. I'm getting used to this, you guys. Let me try that again. Okay, let's try that again. There's so many different graphics, you guys. Okay, let's try this. So I've got my face, I've got my banner, and now let's see if I can shove them both over at the same time. I did, yay. Okay, so channel subscribers that are supporters at the supporter level, your name should be on there if you have been a supporter as of last night. So thank you so much. That was supposed to loop. It didn't loop, did it? That's crazy. Hang on, let's try that again. Let's try that again. There we go. This is supposed to loop so that we can see the names continually go through. And if I'm screwing it up, if we find that it breaks again, I don't know what happened. I'm just going to name them off here. I want to thank Barbara Jackson, Bonnie Blake, Caroline King, Deborah Stone, Hope Toy, Judy Bradshaw, Kathy Godwin, Kim Narvison, Lindsay Leopard, Mom 12195, Marsha, Pam D, Pat Stewart, Rose Carey, and Trish Flanagan as of last night. Thank you. It was a short list, so I just wanted to call it. I want to do a shout out, but we're going to figure out these graphics. This is something I'm not real apt in. Okay, what else do I want to tell you about? Cards. So because I'm going to do extra videos per month, I thought one of them could be a show and share. So if you are interested in having your card or project or whatever shown on one of my videos, please send me one of your cards. You can reach out to me at my email address, That is stampyourartout@comcast.net, and we will feature that on a show and share coming up. If we can do one per month, that would be awesome. The only thing is I'm not going to turn around and send your cards back. I feel bad about that, but I would love to feature your creativity. So we're going to try to do a show and share a lot more often. So you have a reason to send me a card. And maybe I'll figure out a graphic so I can actually stick my address up in there too. But what else do I want to tell you about? Let's do this. At this point, I think I can do this right now. Hang on. And then we're going to get to prizes, you guys. I'm going to see if I can. It says, okay, gifting. Let's see here if I can do this. Gift 5 now. Okay, I'm gifting 5 memberships. Did it work? And I don't know what kind of memberships they are, but it's allowing me to gift some memberships to some of you. So let's see what happens. I'm still learning this whole membership thing. It's kind of crazy.
Everyone.
Oops.
I'm Rachel Tessman from...
And there I am talking. So there you go. I hope that you did you find out who you were if you were gifted? Our members, by the way, do stand out. They have an extra little icon next to their name that looks like a rhinestone, and they get specific emojis to share during the lives. I want to thank all of you, every single one of you, for tuning into my lives, for being blog supporters, for purchasing from me, from being a fan of my Facebook page or whatever, if you're in my Stampers, Stamp Your Art Out group on Facebook, all of those things, because you have contributed to me ranking number 5 out of over 35,000 demonstrators in the US. Just found out last week. And I found out Tuesday before my last live, but I was like too in shock to kind of share it. A lot of you had commented. So I do want to share that with you now as I'm coming down off of my like high of that. But thank you so much for being there for me in all those different ways. Mystery cards. I just saw Debbie shout that out. Yes, one of the videos per week is going to be mystery stamping too. We're just going to have fun because I love teaching. I love sharing. And this is where I feel the most comfortable. Not always technology wise. Sometimes I'm pushing the wrong buttons, but okay. So let me go to, what else have I not talked about? I think I got it all. So let's do prizes. I'm going to bring you to my desktop. I'm going to pull up my prize list here. Did you guys find out if you were gifted memberships yet? Oh, I can see them. Oh, yay. Bling Bling and Ludi Pup and Irene and Polly and Linda. Ha! Yay. Okay. You get it for a month, I think. Okay, I'm going to bring up my winner list from before. We'll show the prize from last week, and I'll tell you the winners, and then we'll let Trisha do some drawings here. So our winners that haven't claimed prizes yet, you have very little time to get back to me if you're one of the first names here. We have Marlene Butler, 3032. We have Sandy Palmer. We have Lori G, Dixie Pab, Rita Owlette, Laura Berto Villardo, and Diane Shortsleeve. Okay, so winners from last week. You got in on, and I have to read what the prize was again because I forgot. It was it was the sampler of new products. So let me bring up that and show you what those were. We're gonna go back to my desktop real quick. This is fun, you guys. I love prize time. Okay, so I still have, because you guys are good. You are so good. The last prize winners were very good at reaching out to me. So you get a 6x6 sampler of 2 sets of new paper, and you get a new sample of the Riverside pearls, the irregular pearls. So this is the prize going out to, and I'm going to pull up those names. Here we go. We have Cindy Motherway, 2735. Here's my email address. Reach out to me so that you can claim your prize. Again, Cindy Motherway, 2735. You were the winner that was drawn on YouTube. And then we have Deborah L. Lovejoy, who was drawn on Facebook. Congratulations to you too. For the prizes today, we have, where'd they go? Where'd they land? They're somewhere around me. Oh, are these them? These are them. Okay, so we'll go back to my desktop so you can see these really quick. I have 4 blending brushes, small or big. You just get what you get. You don't throw a fit. You guys have heard that before. So I'm going to throw in a blending brush and then a sampler of different glimmer papers from a variety of different packs. So it's a glimmer paper blending brush prize today. And Trisha is going to call those out. So I'm going to go back here and we're going to see if she's drawn the name yet. I love it. Drum roll by Sandy. Yay. Sandy's got the little icons that have the drums on them. I'm leaving my email address up there. So, and thank you. Congrats on the people that won memberships. It's just for a month. It's to sample it. I have no way of choosing who gets those. YouTube randomly selects people. But that just means that we will have more than 30-ish people on our last live of the month, which is going to be on the 30th of November. So channel supporters, if you're at the supporter level, you are going to get an invitation to a special live on November 30th. Okay, let's see. Who do we got here? Did she call them out yet? I'm not seeing them come up yet. Probably because we're on a delay. Likes the prizes. Yay, Lisa. Lisa Marshall just said, I like the prizes. Okay, next week, while I'm waiting for Trisha's names to get called off, because obviously I'm not seeing them yet, but next week we'll be live again on Wednesday, November 20th at 11 a.m. Central Time. And again, the next official live is actually on Friday, so in 2 days from now at 3 p.m. Central Time. I am not seeing those names getting called out. And I know Trisha's here. This is so weird. It says message just retracted, Trisha. I don't know if you're trying to post them and they're not coming up or what. That is so weird. I'm scrolling and I'm not. Oh, there they are. There they are. I see them now. Okay, I'm going to move this out of the way. We have Luis Santiago and we have Leon's wife. Leon's wife, I think you're one of my channel members, aren't you? I think so. Anyways, congrats to you guys. Yay, reach out to me at stampyourartout@comcast.net. If you're trying to figure out how to support me in other ways, just being here during my lives is a wonderful thing. If you're commenting, it just makes it more fun. Giving the likes, the thumbs up, and all that stuff. But you can also, if you're on Facebook, follow me on YouTube. My channel is Rachel Tessman. You can follow me on Facebook. My page is called Stamp Your Art Out with Rachel. You can also join my Facebook group, which is called Stamp Your Art Out Group. There's so many Stamp Your Art Outs. And then, let's see. Oh, where did it go? That's it. That's all I got. That's what I got for you guys. I need a tech person here. Oh, seasonal sale. Just want to mention that again. Okay, so that's today, tomorrow, and the next day. It's 10 to 20% off certain items from the annual catalog. Let's just go to the online store real quick because I don't want you guys to miss out on that. So I'm going to go there. Hang on. And I'm going to show you on the computer how to do it. I need an incognito window. All right, I'm taking you to my computer screen and we are gonna I'm gonna walk you through it, you guys. It's so easy. You're gonna go to my website, stampyourartout.com. You're gonna click on shop and you can go my online store, or you can just click this big button here that says that says my blog. Hang on. There's another one that said shop online. Click shop online. It will take you to the online store. And look at that, there's a banner already going across. And you can click on that banner, or once this pulls up, you can actually click on. It's that time. We have to be done with this live. There's a little thing here under specials, and it's scrolling forever, you guys. Hang on, let's try another window with just Stampin' Up. Okay, you're gonna go under specials and you're gonna go to seasonal sale. You can sort all of them. You can sort them from high to low. There's like a whole bunch of things here, you guys. Markers, bundles, punch and die bundles. There are refills, ink pads. There are cardstock packs. It's really fun. So blends markers. The alcohol-based markers are on there too. All right. Oh my gosh, that was a lot of fun stuff. Okay, I'm gonna let you all go. Have a great rest of your week. I might see you in a couple days. Thank you everybody so much. And now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.